Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Is It Worth It, the series where I share my review and my opinion for different video games that I've experienced. Today's video is about another AAA title released alongside the PlayStation 5, and this is Sackboy A Big Adventure. The game was developed by Sumo Digital, the studio behind The Hood Outlaws, and the XDevs who previously worked on the Little Big Planet for the PS Vita and the recently PS5 title Destruction All-Stars. The game was published by Sony as a PlayStation exclusive in November 2020 to go along with the next-gen console, the PlayStation 5. The game, similar to Miles Morales, that was also released with the PlayStation 5 console, also received a copy for the current console, the PlayStation 4. The game takes the hero of Sackboy, notoriously known from the Little Big Planet series since the PlayStation 3 era, and places him in a game that focuses mainly in platforming. As mentioned, the game was released for both the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 consoles, with the PlayStation 4 version getting a special edition. The special edition consists of the game, an artbook, a digital artbook, a digital soundtrack, in-game cosmetics such as emotes and skins, and finally a plushie of Sackboy in a tiger costume. Although the character of Sackboy is famous from the Little Big Planet series, Sackboy Big Adventure is a game of its own and only acts as a 3D platformer. The story of the game takes place in the land of Craftworld, a magical place where creativity runs supreme and everyone is invited. It was a lovely day until a mythical entity, born from chaos and fear, known as Vex, decided to make a grand appearance in the land of Loom, the home place of the Sackfalls, this universe's most gentle creatures. Vex appears by tearing up the sky and self-proclaimed himself the bringer of nightmares, and states that he is here with an exciting discovery called the Topsy-Turver, a deadly device that will bring nightmares to the world. He shows them his paper plants and then starts to kidnap every single Sackling in order for them to work for his plant. While he was absorbing the inhabitants, he drops his plants, and Sackboy, being the only survivor, grabs the papers and jumps off his rocket ships in order to escape Vex. After reading Vex's plans, Sackboy knows that if he wants to save his friends, he'll have to go on a journey to collect the Dreamer Orbs, before Vex if he wishes to stand a chance against him. The Dreamer Orbs are spheres that contain creative energy. Sackboy's adventure has just begun on his journey to save Craftworld. Along the way, he makes new friends and allies to help him on his mission. However, Vex is not as naive as the players may think, and he has a lot of plans for our little hero. The opening cutscene is very effective as it introduces us to the hero, the villain, and the mission. The best example to describe the game is like Super Mario 3D World. Once a cutscene is finished, the player or players, if the game is played in co-op, are placed in the hub world. This is a simple world where the players can walk towards a level and select in order to play. The objective in most of the levels is for the player to maneuver from one point of the map to the other, collecting as many orbs as they can. When a player collects an orb, a board appears that shows how many orbs are left. Each orb on the board represents a location of the orb. For example, if Sackboy collects an orb and it's placed on the second slot, it means the player already missed one and he has to go back in order to find it, prior to the location of the current one. This is an effective way to tell the player where more or less they missed an orb, and where it's placed. Once a level is cleared, the player is placed back in the hub world, and a ribbon representing the path will link it to another level or levels, meaning that the player can now explore those certain maps. Collecting the orbs is necessary as certain passages only become available if certain number of orbs are gathered. Otherwise, the player will have to go and replay certain levels where he missed orbs in order to collect the specific amount. The levels are represented as circles in the ground, and in front of them have the slopes of the orbs. Other than the game levels, the hub world is also the place of the night challenges and Zoom Zoom's home. Zoom Zoom is another returning hero from the Little Big Planet series. Similar to his appearance in those games, Zoom Zoom adds nothing to the story of the game and acts more as a shopkeeper. Zoom Zoom becomes available only in the game, and the player can visit his store in order to purchase new cosmetics that can change his appearance. The more the player proceeds in the story and unlock more worlds, the more things become available for the player to purchase. In the store, the players can purchase full costumes such as wolf costume, pirate costumes, or even costumes representing other heroes such as Ellie from The Last of Us 2. However, the players are also given the option to purchase different items in regard to skins. For example, the option to purchase the pirate hook alone and the wolf's tail is also doable. The store also has various of cosmetics that do not necessarily present something specific. These are hair, eyes, mouths, eyebrows, tops, bottoms, belts, shoes, gloves, and items to be held in the hand. Last but certainly not least, the last available item to purchase are emotes and facial expressions. There's plenty of emotes for the players to equip and customize with given expressions. Items are purchased with golden bells. Golden bells are acquired throughout the levels and in the hub world by breaking objects and from the minigames. The store is also linked to the player's wardrobe. The player can only purchase the items from the store, but in order to equip them, they'll have to go back and select the wardrobe. Zoom Zoom is very friendly to the player. Outside of his store, he also appears within a magical lamp that appears every so often in the hub world. These lamps are a series of minigames where the player free roams in a square space and golden bells are thrown around. The player has a total of 1 minute to collect as many bells as he can. The minigames are very straightforward. Some are free roaming, others have disappearing platforms, others use certain weapons, and so on. Night trials are mainly parkour challenges that the player is tasked to reach the finish line within a certain given space and time. A timer is set and the player has to maneuver through the obstacles and clock a decent time. Gold, silver and bronze are based on the time finished and reward the player with dreamer ups 1 to 3 based on the placement. These trials are unlocked from the main levels if the player finds a golden Rubik's Cube. To enter them, you have to interact with the giant cube in the hub world. Being a 3D platformer, it means the player has a few things to be aware of in order to avoid dying. Falling off in a non-playable area and being struck by an enemy or traps placed in the map. Sackboy is very fragile and can only be hit twice. The indication of the first strike is visually represented with Sackboy turning pale white and losing all of his color. Successfully reaching the checkpoint will restore its color and its stamina. The players move with L3 and jumps with X. Tapping X will cause for the hero to have small jump, whilst pressing it will have a higher jump. Pressing X and holding it will allow Sackboy to hover on air for a while. Square is the way Sackboy hits the enemies with a slap. X and square is a jumping uppercut, and circle square is a spinning attack. Circle is the dodge ability where Sackboy rolls away. Dodging on an enemy will headbutt the enemy. Tapping circle will cause for the hero to constantly roll, which is a way to maneuver faster. Jump, hover, and then dodge will greatly increase the distance covered in air. Triangle is used to interact with the environment. Jumping and triangle will cause the Sackboy to headbutt the ground. R2 is used to grab items or other players and throw them. R1 is used only when the level has certain power-ups such as grappling hooks, boomerangs, and plasma pumps. The game's collectibles are the cosmetic items, stickers for the album that are gained when the level is 100% completed, and the night challenges. The game offers both online and offline co-op where 4 Sacklings are tasked to complete a level. The game level design is really nice and plenty of them are very different. Some play based on the background songs, others rely on the power-ups on the certain level, and so on. The music and animation used are really nice. Looking at Sackboy and Little Big Planet 3 has a visual change that is immediately noted. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments below what's your opinion on the game or whether or not you did or will play it. Till then, take care and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!